Hello and welcome to For Wales, See Wales with me, Robin Morgan.
Me, Mel and Will.
Me, Will Hayward.
Good grief, we've started quite hot, haven't we?
We've all got a vibe on today
Yeah.
and we're just ready to go.
You heated us up.
Yeah, I think I've had 2 compliments about the jumper in my reform blue jumper.
It is nice.
I can't tell you which way I'm voting, but maybe.
Yeah.
I'm subtly dressing that way.
Oh my God, like next week, like wear a hat that should be like a
Make
hint.
America Great Again.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. And that's for the Greens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're all trying to hint.
Yeah.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be fun to all try and guess who the other one's voting for? Probably won't do that on the podcast.
On
actually.
3, 1, 2, no.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. More damaging for Will than anybody.
If you could have any policy, like actual policy,
Yeah.
what would you have?
What a wonderful experience this was, because it feels like I'm on a first date with you. Feels like you're bringing your A game
Yeah.
to the...
This is what we were talking about on a first date as well.
Be any policy. What
What would you be?
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Well, if there was something you could introduce, but whatever the next politician does, this is something they would the next politician, the next person leading the country could do, and they had to do this one thing. What would you make them do?
That is a good question. That is
Yeah,
a good first date question as well,
really
actually.
good.
I should clarify, I've prepped my colleagues in no way for this.
I was going to say, this is straight off the bat, no warning.
Okay, I have a serious answer and a fun answer. Which one would you prefer first? The serious answer?
Serious answer.
Serious answer, bring back hanging. Fun answer, I think we should... No, my fun answer is bring back hanging. My serious answer is
Fun.
I think there should be a rollout across Wales just for a year of universal basic income. Just for a year.
Okay.
See how it goes. You know? But we're going to fucking do it, and it's going to be for everybody. And if it all goes to shit, hanging.
Although, if you introduce a lot of hanging, it makes universal basic income a lot cheaper.
Yeah, well, because lower population.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mine would, and I haven't thought of the specifics of this. In terms of free childcare, up to a certain age, more or less for every parent. There's so many friends of mine that I have who are at that position. I mean, I'm sure you know this, where it's cheaper for them to stay home than go back to work. So with absolutely no math having been mathed, if there was a way to make it easier for both parents to go back to the workplace.
Evidence is that childcare is one of the most cost-effective things you can do in terms of benefiting society.
I'm an all right person, you know.
Why did you praise Mel's one and not my one about hanging and paying people money?
I didn't necessarily want to endorse the hanging one because...
It is a bit woke, isn't it?
Really. We've said this. Woke Will.
Yeah, woke Will.
It's the Trump-esque insult that is going to stick.
Yeah.
You know?
Woke Will.
And I didn't endorse your universal basic income because I want to talk about universal basic income as a concept on another podcast.
Really?
Ooh.
And also...
Very in sync. Very in sync.
We are in an NSYNC tribute act.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Backstreet. I was literally about to sing Backstreet's Back. What's the NSYNC one? Bye, bye, bye.
NSYNC back. Bye, bye.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What would be our boy band? Incel Sync.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like it. Incel, soft cell. Yeah, I think so. Well, what would your policy be?
I don't have any. I think everything's working really well.
Oh, do you? Interesting.
Interesting.
Do you want to talk about politics?
Yes.
I thought we were.
Okay, so we are going to talk about reform in a second, but I wanted to talk about, are they the opposite of reform? We'll say opposite-ish of reform. Your party. Do you remember them?
Yes.
Oh, Corbs.
The Jeremy Corbyn party.
Zara Sultana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Corbyn is officially leader now, isn't he? Because they've had a big old vote. And they love voting.
It's funny you say that. So we decided to ask them if they would be running in the Senedd elections. We got a response which is possibly the most your party thing
Okay, great.
I think I've ever had. So we went to a spokesperson who replied to us, we are still in the process of deciding about standing your party candidates in the Senedd elections. There are 3 levels of committees to agree on things and a bit less than a month left. So I don't think we'll know until the start of April. However, we're definitely supporting community independent Beth Winter for Pontypridd, Cynnon, Merthyr, and we might decide to back other independents whose values align with ours and have the backing of their local branches. The thing that I thought was very your party is that there's 3 levels of committee to agree this.
I haven't been keeping tabs on them on a national level because I only give a shit about Wales, really. But, so far, giving irrelevant.
Yeah.
Accurate? I could be wrong.
No, I think they were sort of. It got very, very spiky, didn't it? And
Yeah.
then there was constant. There was, registering the website. There was like taking sort of membership money and things, and then
Zara Sultana, Jeremy Corbyn split.
yeah, and they've got. I think Corbyn's supporters are called the many. I think that's how
That
they
was the
describe
idea
themselves.
for one of the names as well, wasn't it?
Yes, so they've got sort of like their own sort of like.
As in for the many, not the
supporters'
few.
names. Yeah, I think so. The few responds to the amount of MPs that they've got.
Yeah, sure.
But now I think Corbyn's supporters have taken hold over it, so it's definitely like the Corbyn party now.
I mean, they need somewhere to go, right?
They need somewhere to go. I
They
think
do, 'cause UK Labour's not there for them, really.
they're
is
not
it?
Labour, and I wonder whether the Greens' sort of surge in support maybe isn't for them.
Who would be most threatened by your party in Wales? Who in Wales is standing going, they're going to be a real pain in the backside?
Ultimately, I think if your party were to stand, it would be an issue for any party of the centre-left.
Okay.
Centre or left.
And you think that would be an issue for
I
them?
don't think it would be an issue in terms of they'd take any seats. I don't think your party would get any seats if they ran across the whole of Wales at this point, because I don't see them getting 10% in any particular area. I think probably the best chance is the aforementioned Beth Windsor, who has quite a strong local presence in Cunnan. But I think whoever gets that last seat in each area, that sixth seat, a lot of that time it's a battle between the Greens and Reform. So Plaid have kind of got a lot of their seats kind of baked in based on the current polling. They could also be competing for the sixth seat. But the Greens against Reform is a big one, not in terms of competing for the same votes, but whoever gets enough to get that sixth one. And if you had your party there, they could potentially erode that Green vote. It's almost like the Greens are riding the wave that your party wanted.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Because your party were the people saying, Keir Starmer, he's Tory light, all this sort of stuff, putting this messaging forward. And I think actually Zach Polanski has ridden that wave better than they have. And part of that is down to messaging, but a big part of it, I think, is actually also down to organisation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, your party had so many members sign up for it, and that was a big part of it, wasn't it? It's sort of like look at this movement, this sort of swell of support that we've got, and then the infighting started. That tends to happen when certain people involved
In the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think so. Whereas Polanski, it seems like a slick operation, an oil slick operation. It feels like they're doing well.
Greased.
I think the thing with the Greens is, although they're not they weren't a large party, they were an established party. And I think as well with the Greens, like a lot of people who will have gone from Labour to your party will have seen themselves as, naturally wanting to be in government, whereas the Greens, for a long time, that hasn't been a realistic aim, and now it kind of suddenly is. So I think a lot of people within the Greens at the moment are just enjoying the ride as it goes along at the moment, whereas in your party, it was maybe different. I think, so that thing about the 3 levels of committees, I'm always kind of loath to criticise parties for having democratic structures, because you want, in an ideal world, political parties to be expressions of large groups of people, but there is that caricature of a certain side of politics just loving the committee. It's very a bit Judean People's Front, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and there has to be a point where things actually get done, right? Because if you committee the shit out of something, it's just not, look at the Welsh Government.
Shall we talk about a man who does not have the problem about having too many committees within his party?
Go on.
Absolutely.
Would either of you ever do Cameo?
No. Who would want a cameo
Whoa.
with me?
He's going to say something.
I am going to say something, if that's allowed, Will. I don't think I ever would. The comedian Rhys James was on Cameo for a while, and for a while he was the most expensive person on Cameo. I think it was £10,000 per cameo, because he didn't ever want to do one, but he thought eventually if one person chooses him as a joke, then basically he's done 100,000 versions of how much he probably would do it for. So I think that's a very funny way of doing it. I wouldn't do it. Obviously, some people have been. James Buckley, In-Betweeners, first person to earn £1 million from it.
Yeah, it's
Jay from the In-Betweeners.
Yeah.
It's a business model at the end of the day. Like, some people want them. Like, a friend of mine is a performer, and she does cameos. And, some of them I think she really struggles with, because, for Christmas, for instance, some people's Christmas presents to their loved ones was a video from her. for instance. And there was one that was like, if you do one to my daughter, by the way, her boyfriend died in a car accident this year. So if you could just do one, like a little motivational one for her, that would be great. And my friend was like, how? How am I meant to address this at a 30-second? What do you mean? And like the thought of them all sat around the Christmas tree on Christmas morning watching her. Like, it's so bizarre, isn't it?
I think you need to cut off any sort of like morality to it. I mean,
yes, sure.
Like when I saw Greg Wallace happily advertising Mother's Day ones and Valentine's Day ones this year.
I mean, it would be funny though. If your wife got you a Greg Wallace cameo for Valentine's, wouldn't that not be hilarious?
I would love that. I'd play it constantly on loop.
Yeah, exactly. It is. I mean, he wouldn't think it's ironic at all.
No,
but it is.
And it wouldn't be.
No,
big fan.
Yeah, big fan. You don't like women of a certain age, do you?
No. But I'll never say what age that is.
So for people who don't know, Cameo is a website where celebrities can...
Celebrity's a big word for some of the people on Cameo.
Where certain human beings can put themselves and you can request a video message from them, whether for a birthday, for a wedding, and they will tailor it to your specifications.
So you put a little request in there and then and then you can charge varying degrees of how much it is. I believe Farage's were around the £75 mark.
Yeah, I think it's 75 to 100, was it?
A little bit more if you... And he would do 24-hour turnaround as well. You had to pay a little bit more, but he would get it back to you within 24 hours.
I have so many questions because that's quite cheap.
It is cheap, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? For somebody as popular as he is, that's cheap.
Well, he's made, I think since...
£250,000.
£350,000 is how much he's earned over the years, over the last 5 years or so of being on there.
Doesn't he make bank? Like, Homeboy does not need the cash.
I mean...
Is this for ego?
I think he does need the cash. I think surely he does. I think that his girlfriend had to buy his house, right? The house that they live in Clacton. I think there's your feminism fell out of the window there, didn't it?
I mean,
be a man.
I mean, I would suspect that how much money you need is basically depends upon the person, and some people have an insurmountable desire for the green stuff. Nigel Farage did a cameo for someone which The Guardian first reported last week, and he was talking about the Welsh language. And I will show you the first one now, and then we will look at some other attempts that he did on it. So,
gutted I couldn't attend the wedding. I wanted to come, but I heard that half the guests were Welsh, and I don't know. Who knows what would have happened with all those foreign speakers there? I don't know. Anyway, Sam, I hope Toby will make you very happy, as I know you will him.
Do you think Sam was a man or Sam was a woman? Sam and Toby?
Well, I assumed man.
Yeah, I assumed
man.
It was two dudes.
But hey, love's love.
Love is love, despite the Welsh bigotry.
Yeah, despite that.
Bigots can be gay as well, Mel.
They can.
Is it a big deal? Is it a big deal?
Spaces.
He'll argue he was joking. Is it a problem?
Well, I think it's an example of the kind of thing that he's willing to say for money. I think when you look at all the other things he did, he sort of spouted some neo-Nazi rhetoric. He sort of suggested sort of anti-Semitic conspiracy theory stuff on different ones. I think he referred to Alexandra Cortez's AOC's breasts in another one as well. He was quite happy to sort of say a whole range of things for money. I watched this... I'm going to say a horrible sentence here. I watched a 30-minute TikTok on this last week. Gross. That the guy, but it's all about interviewing the Guardian journalist who part of the investigative team. And he ended it by basically saying, it shows what he does. It shows what he'll say for money. So what will he say for power? And I think that was a really sort of interesting takeaway on this. My favourite bit of this whole story, though, is how many he's done and the dates of when he did them as well. So he did some on election night. He did some 5 a.m. election morning. So before he was an elected MP, I don't think it's much of an issue. I think once you become an MP, my hot take is pay MPs more. Stop them getting extra money because then it starts to take out different sort of means, and
it dilutes what they're providing for their constituents.
So, but I think he's still been doing it since becoming an MP. He did this is before an MP, but he did 4 on the morning of the Queen's funeral, which I don't think is an issue. He's wearing black morning black suit, black tie. One of them was for a stag do. He did a video dressed in his respectful Queen attire, pour one out for her, Gaza, that sort of thing. He didn't say that.
But that was the vibe, right?
But I think it shows what he'll say. He doesn't give a shit about these things. I mean,
he set up the RA in one, didn't he?
Yeah. But that's the thing. And he got caught out for fucking up at that point. And I think he said, like, I made a mistake. I wasn't aware of it. There's a great video of this Irish journalist basically saying, like, sort your life out, basically, in this interview. But he's continued to do it. It's obviously a huge money-making thing for him. And I think I think there are examples of him sort of taking certain bits out, but he obviously doesn't check. He's just doing it for a cash grab.
I want your thoughts, Mel, but I want to show you before.
Oh, yeah, they got all the outtakes as well, didn't they?
Yeah. So this was his other attempt.
Toby and Sam, Nigel Farage here. Gutted I couldn't attend the wedding today. I really wanted to come, but when I heard half the guests were Welsh, I thought, no, that's too much. I might get mobbed. Who knows what would happen? Anyway, Sam, I hope Toby will make you very happy, as I know you do for him. He was talking about you non-stop on the stag do, which was a brilliant weekend. By the way, Joe, how's the leg? I hope it's healing. Anyway, Toby, Sam, happy... Toby and Sam, Nigel Farage here. Gutted I couldn't attend the wedding. I wanted to come, but I heard that half the guests were Welsh, and I don't know. Who knows what would have happened with all those foreign speakers there? I don't know. Anyway, Sam, I hope Toby will make you very happy, as I know you will him.
Do you want to see one where he made an outtake and then he shouted the word, "See you next Tuesday"?
Yeah. How have we got the outtakes?
I think the journalist realised that you could basically change source codes within like all the prompts and stuff and figure it out there.
Oh, fucking good. Okay, watch this.
Cunt. What you will, for fuck's sake, you cunt.
I mean...
I mean, we've all tried to record content and then phone's gone off or something.
Yeah, I think it shows his true colours, right? It shows the aggression, because I think he has been getting a bit tetchy the last sort of couple of months. As soon as like sort of shouting at journalists, female journalists in particular, sort of getting very aggressive.
Got a bit, didn't she?
Yeah. Would you ever do cameos?
I can't imagine there's a person in the world that would pay me to do a cameo.
I think there might be. I suppose you're doing a sort of quite a written cameo in your newsletter.
Yeah, I'll write anything people pay me to.
The vibe is so like, if you take out the context of what he's saying, right, bear with me. It's so boomer that it's almost adorable.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like watching my auntie try to use FaceTime. Do you know what I mean? So holding it here, like absolutely as close to the face as possible.
The leather cover is just over here.
Just out. She's got the one finger to press record.
Yeah.
If you take out, the bigotry, if we can, adorbs, right? If we reinsert the bigotry, I'm just not shocked. This is the thing. Like, if this were anybody else, any other politician, it's the same thing like as with Trump. Do you know what I mean? Trump literally said, "Grab her by the pussy." Second term. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not shocked anymore. The guy could literally do anything. Do you know what I mean? So like Farage can say, "Oh, hate foreign speakers." We're not shocked. You know? I mean, foreign to who? That's a big question.
What him? And he is England, right? In his mind, in his supporters.
Yeah.
He is Britain. That is the best of Britain.
So, do you think it kind of underscores the challenge that Reform have got in Wales? Appearing, because we saw it after they lost in Caerphilly, that sign on the door, that graffiti saying, "Now you can F off home." There is that feeling that they are trying to combat that they are not of Wales. And I'm not saying they haven't got lots of Welsh candidates who are from Wales, but it's
Dan Thomas, obviously a proud Welsh man. That's his. So that's why they've chosen him, right?
Yeah.
This won't do any damage to them at all. Do you know what I mean? Because anybody who feels sensitive about this wasn't voting for them anyway.
Yes.
And the majority of people who see this and think, "Oh, what's he like?" they probably aren't big on the Welsh language. And I think that, we've talked about this so many times in terms of the cultural divide between those who can and cannot speak it.
No, I think people are entrenched now, right?
Yeah,
I think it'd be very interesting to see what it would take for a Reform supporter at this point to go, well, actually, that's beyond the pale. That crosses the line for me.
That would cross the line.
I always think that with parties like Reform, it's not that a lot of their supporters will suddenly go, "We were wrong about them." It's that they drift away, they edge out, they kind of Homer Simpson back into the hedge. They choose a different party, which is more to a particular direction. I had sent to me an email which was sent by Kevin Preston, who is not from Preston, I don't think. He is the chair of Newport and Islwyn Reform Party branch. Now, they have sent out an email to members in that area saying about people going leafleting and campaigning in Blackwood. And the email reads thus. Out of 1,400 members and supporters in our branch, so far only 8 have said they will help campaign in Blackwood. 5 of these 8 are the committee members. Unfortunately, this is typical of the response we get. We stand a good chance of doing well in the upcoming elections, only 1 month and 18 days away, if, bold and in caps, if we get the support we need now. There is no need to worry if you haven't done it before. You can be teamed up with an experienced canvasser. Well, only 8 of them. Please make the effort to help and let us know with your availability with this link. We can't do it without your help. Kevin Preston, brackets, Chair of Newport. Kevin Preston again. Kevin Preston sent this.
Kevin Preston.
So I put this out earlier in the week. It was in my midweek newsletter with some quotes I'm about to discuss now. We're recording this at the start of the week. One person actually said to me, we are hemorrhaging activists. A lot have gone to join Restore, which is Rupert Lowe's.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
Wow.
I don't think Restore's got huge amounts of supporters, but I think if you are a paid up Engage Reform member, some of them have gone to Restore.
I just assumed that was a big old vanity project for him, and it was just a bit of a wow. I didn't.
I don't think they're an electoral threat.
No, sure.
I think they're an activist.
No, but that's interesting, though, isn't it?
They said, this is what happens when you treat people like shit. The party have been acting like Labour or the Tories with years of activist loyalty behind them. The person I spoke to actually also made a suggestion that the new leadership of Reform in Wales were putting former Tories in 1 and 2 positions for lists, and that was causing a lot of discontent.
Right.
We called this. I mean, I know it's not a hot take, but that we said they'll be fucking infighting. This is what will hold them back. And they're not. They're gonna be. I think it was you who said that having the former Tories there is only going to piss off the people who think they're proper reform.
Yeah.
And they're having these former Tories need to some kind of like earn their keep, earn their place.
Oh yeah, that having to say that line. What was it? Kind of like Britain is broken. It was that like the secret password.
Yeah.
That was their initiation.
That was the knock to get in.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I didn't realize Restore was a threat from a canvasser point of view. I find it really like how many members do they have? Sort of paid up activists. Was it
1,400,
which is a huge amount in that area, right?
That is huge.
I mean, you think of door knocking capabilities and really kind of going like, are you annoyed? This kind of stuff, or give it a go, right? I sometimes wonder, and I did think this post Caerphilly, whether that online bubble is Reform's greatest asset. Like how much it seems to be talked about, how much support they seem to have seems to be amplified by what you read, especially on kind of like Twitter and things. But I guess that is what that platform has become a little bit about, right? It's about to try and amplify the right of centre voices.
Building on that as well, it'll be interesting to see if they can't get these people out door knocking, then they can't activate them. They can't motivate them. They can't motivate them to get out and actually engage. Can they get them out to vote?
Well, that was always the thing, wasn't it? Like if
to register to vote.
Yeah. This is what's going to, it's all well and good having people on Facebook groups. If they're not voting, it don't mean shit.
This is the challenge for Reform. So when you're a party which is predicated on being the voice of the people, the voice of the majority, the voice of the silenced, when you lose, like they did in Gorton and Denton, it can't be because you lost. It has to be because you were screwed.
Yeah.
And the establishment closed ranks against you. I don't think there's ever been an election where Farage has lost where there hasn't been a reason beyond, we need to reflect and maybe change anything. Because the problem is, these parties on that side of politics, a lot of people are with you based upon solely the fact you're going to win. And the second you're not winning, there has to be a really bloody good excuse for you not winning, else your entire MO is gone. And I think, so one Labour candidate, a guy called Chris Carter, who's on a list for that area, he retweeted it saying there was 30 plus activists on the Saturday morning canvassing session for Labour in the Malpas ward, which is the same constituency. I'm not saying that Labour are going to do better than Reform in there. I don't think they necessarily will. But I think it is interesting what you say about translating online support, loud online voices into onto street level support. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Reform were the largest party in the Senedd election. I'm not sitting here saying they're a paper tiger in terms of support. This isn't a general election. This isn't people that a lot of people who have been politically disengaged have muscle memory for voting in Senedd elections. You need people there knocking on doors on the day going, get out, or boats will be coming,
May I ask your opinions on whether you think that traditional method of door knocking, canvassing, flyering, leafleting is effective in getting the vote now? Do you think that, having those Facebook groups, this, that and the other actually is going to be more effective than it's, I'd compare it with Fringe, right? Turning up to Fringe with your tickets already sold is so much better than trying to flyer on the street the day of, right?
Does flyering on the street work at the Fringe?
Yeah, it does. It's soul crushing.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
And because also people, I always flyer. Well, I've only ever done one run. I flyered my own show because people, if they liked me, it's easier to get them in because they've met me.
You've already sold the show then, so that your audience are going to be,
they're coming in with a bit of
30% there with you anyway, because they've already liked you enough to take some paper off the street of you. So you've kind of done a bit of crowd work with them almost already.
Yeah.
It's
You've
a
already
thing.
sold them, right? So
And no one's going to sell your show better than you are anyway.
Yeah.
But
do you know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean, and I think sometimes, like, obviously I'm in my own silo of like my own experience of kind of like how I engage with politics online and stuff. I mean, if I see a leaflet through the door, I kind of know certain parties. I'll have a look at it because it's interesting to see like the area sort of person going for it. But I don't know. I don't know whether how people's minds are being changed. I think that online, obviously, some people are getting news in wildly different sources than, and from Facebook and from sort of memes and from all this kind of stuff. We'll never know, but I'd love to know the people who are the fence sitters at this point. I'd love to know the people who are going to change it, because it feels like, and this is just kind of like my own take on it. It feels like everyone's basically decided who they're voting for by this point. It'd be really interesting to know. I think some old Labour voters will probably think, "Oh, I'm not voting Labour this time," but in the end, old habits die hard, and they'll still go for Labour. I think a few people will hold their nose and do it because they just can't disappoint Grandad in the sky.
I agree with you. I think with voting and turnout, I say you had an area where every single person was going to vote Reform, and then Reform didn't campaign there, and Labour poured loads and loads of stuff into going out on the doors, knocking doors, had a really, really strong ground game, ran the best ground game you possibly can. They're not going to convert most people over to Labour who were voting Reform 6 weeks ago. You can make some difference. You can also get a feeling for what messaging is on the doorstep and what's working and what isn't, which you can then feed back up the chain. I think why this does make a bit of a difference in Wales is because so much is going to come down to that 6th seat, as we've said. And if you can get 70 people to go from one party to another party, or put doubt in someone's mind so that they don't go out and vote for the party they were going to go vote for, it actually could make a difference to who wins those 6 seats across Wales. So it's not the be all and end all. It doesn't move the needle hugely, but it does make a difference.
And I'd like to think that sort of personal face-to-face approach still matters in this day and age. And we've talked for ages on this podcast about the need for real life interaction and how does the media have a responsibility. But I think also from a politician and from an activist point of view, I think knocking on someone's door, having a conversation, and going, okay, so what are the issues for you? Well, this is what's devolved. This is the stuff that XYZ has done. This is what XYZ is saying they're going to do. There's the information. Now vote with your heart, vote with your head. That's all you can do, right?
Back in my canvassing days,
have you done a fair bit of canvassing?
Oh, so much, so much. And
how was canvassing for the Tories?
It was the DC golden era. I don't know if I had a fair.
Were you hugging hoodies?
Yeah, you do. I mean, there was like 19-year-old me who didn't necessarily. I mean, I knew nothing about policy, but I was like, "Do you like David Cameron?" Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, not that guy with the bacon sandwich." Great, cool, got their own.
Sure.
But having the candidate there was so much more effective.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so much. I mean, I would say our candidate had a profile. because he was incumbent, right? So that obviously they already knew him and wanted him.
This is like the Fringe.
Yeah.
It's easier to sell. You can sell your own show better than anyone else can.
And if I was on the door and somebody was being a bit difficult, they were like, "Oh no, like probably won't vote for you because of this and the other." I'd be like, "Wait, he's coming!" Like, and he'll win them over.
Yeah.
Nathan Gill is very persuasive.
It was not Nathan Gill. Very persuasive in Russian. But it was, it was so much more effective with the candidate there. In terms of what we were saying as to whether or not it's still effective having that face-to-face, I think what was probably still going to be really effective is the election day, what we call like knocking up, basically, which is like
we're not campaigning, we're just checking in.
Just checking in. Have you voted today? Just double checking.
And people do that on the day. So on that Thursday, 8th of May, there'll be people sort of knocking doors and going, just like, any news?
Yeah, what's going on? Like, we'd meet at like 4 a.m, get all our little maps, and that would be us until
Get on the bus, Deirdre.
Yeah, literally being like, I've seen you 3 times today, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's probably going to be effective for these, where it's got to be on a knife edge, right? So every single vote is going to count. So what you'll have is your database of the exact, you're not trying to win anybody over on election day. That's done. You've got your database. You've been canvassing for however long. You've got your database of exactly the houses and the people who
Number 32 likes us.
Yeah, go
we need to
there.
get them out.
Yeah. Call until they've told you that they have voted that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's really, like, does it have the energy of an apprentice task?
So hard. so much. And you'd be paired off. And obviously there'd be students there. So I was a student, so I was always put with somebody a little bit more experienced. And you'd be... It's such an unsafe experience as well. It's a complete side note.
Yeah.
I'd be put in the car with a random man I'd never met. They'd be like, off you go. Like, it is... I remember, like, my parents hated it. My parents hated that I was in that world anyway, but I think they hated the fact that I'd be like, oh yeah, I was in the car with Trevor all day today. They're like, who's Trevor? Don't know.
Yeah.
But that was the point, to just get it done.
Did you enjoy it? Was it exciting?
It was exciting because we were winning. Do you know what I mean? It's exciting because I was on a winning side, I've canvassed and done polling day on elections we didn't win. And like the May bot snap election was horrific.
So what we're hearing a lot in some of the manifestos is that we're going to cut a lot of the Welsh Government vanity projects. And now that we'll have got rid of all these vanity projects, money is going to flow, because so much money at the moment is flowing into vanity projects.
Vanity projects is such a key phrase, isn't it?
Do you have any vanity projects?
I mean, my entire career is a vanity project.
Yeah.
This is a vanity project. Let's not pretend. We'd still do this if no one was watching or listening.
My principal income is the Will Hayward newsletter.
That's true.
So who are we to judge vanity projects,
So what are these vanity projects, if people were referring to them?
So one that's coming up time and again, and actually I think this has cut through quite a bit in kind of the wider public, is tree planting in Uganda.
Yeah, it has actually.
I hear this.
Yeah, I've
quite
heard it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that policy, if you put in a sort of like woke policy generator, that like, tree planting in Uganda, great, perfect.
Tree planting in Uganda.
It ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
So Reform and the Tories have both got this in their manifesto for Wales. You'll be surprised to hear they've got quite similar.
What, the crossover?
Yeah, it's weird.
God.
It's almost like they're the same thing. So Reform say we will scrap all international aid spending. Welsh ministers are pouring money into overseas projects like tree planting in Uganda. The Tories say we will prevent spending on international development projects, including tree planting in Uganda. So the Tories in particular have spoken about this a lot. So in December last year, Darren Miller said that his party, this is a verbatim quote, would have axed all those overseas projects like the gender-neutral tree planting in Uganda.
Sorry, stop. What? When did trees become gender-neutral?
I was genuinely about to make a joke earlier about the only way this could have been a more woke policy for them is if they started doing something about gender in there. He didn't actually say that.
He didn't.
Gender-neutral tree planting in Uganda.
No, he's joking.
Listen.
We would have scrapped millions, which is being spent on Welsh mini-embassies overseas in those exotic locations. We would have axed those overseas projects like the gender-neutral tree planting in Uganda.
Stop. Will, please tell me there is something I don't know about trees which makes this make sense. Please.
So me and the team at the newsletter have been looking into this, and I can't believe this is how I.
We were looking for tree dicks all week.
I know. We were. What did she just
Write
say?
this one down. This is a tree puss.
What we got here? Oak badge.
We've lost. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. The day was gonna come.
This is twin snakes, mate. This is twin snakes all over again.
Okay.
So let me just explain.
Please.
If you are the sort of person that needs this fucking explained to you, you're probably not listening to this podcast. But
Yeah.
I know that quite a few people from the parties do listen to this to see what we're saying about them. So maybe this will be helpful for you. So trees generally have separate male and female flowers, or both, but they don't have gender identities in the same way that a human may. Labeling them gender neutral is meaningless. Some trees are basically, they reproduce and they can self-pollinate. Some trees have...
I disagree with this, actually. I think oaks are boys.
Oh, do you? What's a girl tree? A willow? A fir? An evergreen is always a girl, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A willow,
Yeah.
holly.
A holly, obviously.
Holly, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What I meant, men, birch.
Oh,
Birch
yeah.
tree,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rowan is a man.
Ash.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
See, fair play to Darren,
Yeah,
actually.
I take it back. Sorry, is he having a laugh? Sometimes I think we're too harsh to Darren Miller, and then he does shit like this.
Okay, let's just move on from the fact that these gender neutral tree planting. Let's just talk about the
Yeah, he's got in your head. Darren, you've done it again.
The woke. I can feel the woke mind virus leaving my brain as I'm cleansed. Let's just talk about the tree planting. Okay. Tree planting.
Regardless of gender.
You sound like a reform councillor. Let's talk about the tree planting.
So, what is actually happening is the Welsh government have, for about a decade and a half, spent money planting trees in Uganda of various sexes.
You know when you go to a restaurant sometimes and it doesn't have like a male and a female on the door?
Sure, yeah.
It'll be like a taco
Yeah.
and I don't know, an empanada. And you're like, which one am I?
Oh, I hate that
They're gonna
so
do
much
this
when
with
I have to
trees
like
now.
work out if I'm going to scare a bunch of women by walking in because I thought I was
Yeah.
a burrito.
Yeah.
It's like,
I thought I was cherries or banana. I don't
Am
know.
I birch? I think I'm birch.
I think it's going to be that. We're going to have to go to like, I don't know, one of the Natural Resources Wales,
Yeah.
like Forestry Commission places. And if you want to go to the loo, you have to work out if you're an oak or a rowan. Anyway, sorry.
so
Continue. So the last 15 years or so, Welsh government have been planting trees in Uganda.
Yes.
How much does this cost?
very good question.
Thank you.
For the last 11 years, this has cost £4 million.
Okay.
Been a gender pay gap applied here?
On average, the Welsh Government, over the course of this policy, has spent £270,000 a year.
Okay.
What I don't want to do is sit here and tell people you shouldn't be annoyed that money which is in the Welsh Government budget is been spent overseas. If you sit there and you think, well, actually, £200,000 could put a play park in my village.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's going to put it in one village in Wales a year. It's not a lot.
Sure.
But it's money that you could perfectly reasonably make the argument, this isn't where I want money spent.
The argument sometimes is how many nurses could that pay, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Very
like
valid.
Sort of, was it 8 or 9 nurses?
7
nurses?
Yeah, it's a really valid line of inquiry and a concern. Not disrespecting that at
I
all.
don't think it's unreasonable to question use of public money in any setting. I think that's absolutely fine. What I think we need to push back very hard on is the suggestion that if you were to cancel this policy, it would make any meaningful difference in any way about funding of Wales's public services. So this is 0.001% of the Welsh Government budget. Mm-hmm. So for context, if you don't like numbers, imagine you fill the Principality Stadium with 74,500 people. Every single seat is full. If that was the Welsh Government budget, if you were to cancel the Ugandan tree planting, the amount of people that would remove from the Principality is 3/4 of one person.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Not even one person. A
Yeah.
tall child.
Yeah.
A tall child would be removed. And
Quite right too. Whether they're on their own.
if you want it on a per tree basis, Wales has spent 16 pence per tree.
Okay.
The argument in favour of the policy is that basically climate change is a fact. We need to offset our carbon. If you plant a tree in Powys, it is rainy, it is wet, and it is very rarely sunny, and that tree takes a bloody long time to grow. If you plant a tree in Uganda, which is by the equator, has warm temperature all year round, higher rainfall, and longer growing seasons, that tree grows a lot quicker. So if you want to just offset your carbon, that money is better spent in a place which used to be forest than parts of Wales. Now, if you're also really annoyed that we're asking farmers to plant trees on productive Welsh farmland, maybe off-sourcing that might be a useful way that we can, kill two birds with one stone, or grow two birds with a stone. I don't know. We're not trying to kill the birds. The thing I would say is, one, it's nothing to do with being gender neutral. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Two, I'm trying to be professional, but it's when
hard.
When something's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like you can't treat the idea of gender neutral tree planting as anything. Anyway,
no, you can't intellectualize shit like that. Yeah. Sorry.
If your funding proposals are based on cancelling this, you're not a serious party or person. And the other thing is there's actually legitimate reasons from a Welsh perspective why it's a good reason to do it. And I know what people are going to go, but Wales is a very small percentage of emissions. Just for context, if the rest of the world used resources per head how Wales does, we would need 2.5 planets worth of resources. Because proportionally, per person, we burn a lot more carbon per person to exist in terms of what we use, what we consume.
I didn't know that's why we planted trees in Uganda. Happy to put my hand up and say that. I didn't realise
it's not just that. There's a social outreach to it as well. And
sure.
This is maybe where Darren Miller's got confused about the tree planting and the genders of the trees, because one of the challenges with the Umbale Uganda project is that it's actually giving a lot of roles to women within the process of doing it, which is actually quite unusual in that area. It's not necessarily a typically female job.
Yeah.
So it's actually empowering quite a lot of women in the area. Maybe that's where he's got confused. Maybe someone said it's empowering women and he thought, I don't want female Rowans to be doing well.
Yeah.
So there are it's not just a carbon offset scheme, but that is one of the benefits of it.
Interesting. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it. It's very, very useful. I now know who to vote for.
Do you want to see a picture of Joel James, the current Conservative MS, standing really proudly on a visit to Uganda in 2023 about how much he enjoyed it?
He looks happy.
Do you want to hear Sam Rowlands talking at a school after speaking to women who'd been involved in the project next to a tree that had just been planted in honour of the project and saying about how good the project was?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, no, it's been a real privilege to be here at a school at John Brights in Llandudno and to hear from Deborah and Helen and the impact that the size of Wales is having in their community. And what really struck me was this is not just about trees, this is about the wider impact on both the environment but also on communities having the right environment for those people to live in particular the ongoing impacts of deforestation in those communities and things like access to water.
Call me crazy. Sounds like he thinks it's a good thing. Want to hear him?
They know this is the thing.
This is him just last week.
Is not the right way to spend taxpayers' money. And not only do they, in Plaid Cymru and in Labour in particular, want to spend that money on more politicians, as you pointed out, and others have pointed out, they have over the years been kings and queens at wasting taxpayers' money. They've funded, believe this or not, the Wampi tribe in the Amazon to have solar-panelled canoes. They've paid for gender-neutral trees to be planted in Uganda. That's your money.
Same man saying those things.
Do they think we're stupid? It is so racially charged, and because that's the flavour of the month. Do you know what I mean? That's what's going to win them votes, apparently, in Wales.
You saying this is not a point of principle for them?
I don't think there's any principle left in what I just saw there. It's ridiculous.
I think they've also realised that the Nation of Sanctuary Ukraine thing isn't hitting as much. They needed something new.
Yeah.
And luckily they found something.
Do you know what sounds
probably
more
less white.
exotic?
Yeah.
The Wampi tribe in the Amazon does sound more, if you want a better word, scary than Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Some of whom are blonde.
Hey, can we not forget?
Yeah.
They had solar panels on the canoe. What does everybody hate? Right, renewable energy, canoes, tribes. Let's stick them all in one sentence.
Yeah.
Something exotic. Ugh.
No indication of the gender of the sunlight, though.
No, exactly. And I'd like to know, actually, is it a burrito or an empanada? That's what I'd like to know.
That's really disappointing from him.
I lost complete respect.
For what? How many votes are you going to get in this election?
He knows the benefit. He knows the intellectual side of this. And he's gone gender neutral, tribes, solar panels, canoes. It's so signally.
I think we have got to stress, we're not actually questioning whether this is a good use of taxpayers' money. If I was living somewhere and they'd cut a local amenity and I was told this money was spent outside of Wales, not even anywhere else in the world, just outside of Wales, Welsh money was spent I think you're perfectly within your rights to go, I don't think that was our best use of money.
100%.
I think that's totally fine. I think it's the fact that people say that it was a good thing and then have changed their mind when it's politically expedient. It's the fact that they are acting as though it would make any difference. Yeah, that should quite annoy you.
Yeah. This has been very informative. A whopper of an episode, Will. A whopper. A birch of an episode.
A whopper grown by cattle in deforested Uganda.
Thank you very much. This has been very, very informative. You know what else will be informative? Our live show in Cardiff, which is nearly sold out.
It's crazy. I'm so happy.
It's insane how quickly tickets have gone for this. So this is our big sort of Senedd election blowout on May the 23rd. Thank you, Daryl.
Capacity is 250 and we're getting close.
We're nearly there.
Yeah.
Like I reckon in a couple of weeks it'll be absolutely gone. So if you're sitting on it, then get your tickets now. It's an afternoon show on that Saturday. We'll sort of have a proper chinwag about what's happened at the election, all the fallout from the next 10 days or so after it. But get your tickets now. They'll be in the show notes or on our socials, or if you just go on the Glee Club website and scroll down to May 23rd, we will be there. It should be great. It should be really fun.
Very, very exciting. Obviously, I will see you guys way before then because we'll have another episode next week.
Indeed, we will. Quite a special one next week, I believe.
Ooh,
right?
Let's not say too much.
Okay.
Let's not say too much. But
Okay.
it's a little...
We could say.
Oh, do you want to say?
Do you know what I'm going to say?
You're that person. You know when like someone buys you a present, do you want to know what I got you?
I'm that person.
Oh, see?
I'm that person.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Because I want the praise.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going to say it is so this week, but we'll have done this by the time you're listening to this.
We're going to Uganda.
We are going to be doing one of our recordings from inside the Welsh Parliament. So I have already emailed Welsh MSs and their staff and said, we are going to be sat here for 4 hours. Come on down and join us. Just pop in. Loads of them have messaged me saying, I will be here at this time. And loads of them have said the same time. So they get to fight for our love.
We should get a little ticketing system like we're in a deli.
Oh, I love
they can
that.
queue up.
Yeah.
What is interesting is last time we did that, it was a very explosive poll. Came out on the same day, didn't it?
Same day. There were some Plaid members. Was it Plaid or Labour?
Plaid were ahead of Labour for the first time in the poll.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Plaid were very excited.
Some very flappy people in the Senedd that day.
But as I understand it, polling will actually be coming out this Wednesday as well. So if you tuned into this episode wanting our reaction to the polling, you're going to get it a week late. But crucially, you're going to get it with hopefully some live reactions from different Senedd members.
In the Senedd. Come on, this can't be a coincidence.
That's our last one in the Senedd was our second most watched episode ever, behind the Caerphilly by-election result reaction show.
Really looking forward to it. Okay, no, good to give a little preview for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So that'll be out next Thursday. Anything to plug? Your book?
The book, Who Cares About Wales, available now, has been plugged enough. So I'm not going to plug Who Cares About Wales anymore.
There we go.
I will. The book's very good.
And what do you have to plug?
My tour is slowly coming to an end. Sad. But there's still some Welsh dates available. I think Milford Haven is the last Welsh date at the end of May. My Cardiff Glee date is very nearly sold out. There's like 60 tickets left for that one.
I'm coming.
Thank you. That's very, very kind. Silence from Will Hayward. So, and I'm doing 4 shows at Mach now. I'm not just doing 3. I put an extra one in on a Friday night to work up something for a potential radio series.
Oh!
So, it's brand new stuff that I can't talk about yet.
Very exciting.
But that should be really fun. So if you fancy coming along to that, feel free to. What have you got?
I am also at Mach. Thank you so much to our listeners who have messaged to say that they've booked tickets. I really, really appreciate it. I'm Saturday night at Mach, 8 p.m. Guys, I'll see you in the Senedd.
See you in the Senedd, baby.
I've been Mel Owen.
I've been Robin Morgan.
And I remain Will Hayward.